Want to invite Ted and Steve, Rick and Maggie's two sons to come forward to offer a presentation on behalf of the family.
Thank you so much to everyone for coming. I know my dad and Ted and I are super pleased, and anyone who knows my mom knows she would be so excited to have caused all of us to get together here today. It would have been one of her favorite things. And what I think is really neat for Ted and I is there's so many different circles here. There's people who know her as their grandmother, as their director of adult education, as someone from the conservatory, as their mother, as a neighborhood mom who got them in trouble sometimes, a whole bunch of different relationships. We thought we'd just share a brief story about her that kind of go through her life a little bit for those who don't know the other pieces of it. So we'll be rather quick with this, but there's some fun color that I think is really part of her life that would be great to share. So my mom was born in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and a lot of you know, as you can tell from here also, we have a quite big family. She's the oldest of 12, and her father, my grandfather, was a rice farmer. Her mom was a saint by all accounts. And growing up with so many people in the family. In fact, I was talking at dinner last night. I said, "What was it like to have 12 kids in the house?" And one of my uncles said, "Well, there were 4 other cousins living there too." So, I think this is where she learned patience. Certainly, it's where she learned to have nonstop energy. A lot of these traits that you've seen in nurturing that have grown up. And I'll keep coming back to patience because I've heard so many stories about growing up. One of my unnamed uncles apparently used to attach 2 lizards to his ears, live lizards, and run around chasing my mom and chasing all the kids and terrorize them. So patience, that's what kept coming back. My mom was also very passionate about education all through life. So she was her valedictorian at Gaydon High. She went to St. Thomas where she was on scholarship there, where she met my dad. Later in life, when we were kids, she got her master's degree in Denver in adult formation and did that all while working. So just a real passion for hers. And I think what was really exciting for me too is she's really brought that to all of us. I think the fact that she taught many of you here about being engaged or marriage is really a tribute to what she loved. At St. Thomas, she dated my dad their junior year, and I think the senior year of high school, he decided to propose to her. The story is that I believe he went to Gaydon and was trying to find a nice quiet place to propose, except their 11 heads popped up over the windows, kind of sneaking in to look. So he went out to the farm and apparently got down on his knees in front of the cows and proposed. I'm told it was a moving proposal. My mom always laughed at my jokes, so that was really good. So they were married upon graduation and off to the races. Moved to LSU, Baton Rouge, where Ted and I were born. We moved to El Paso, in Richardson, Plano, Huntsville, Alabama, quite a few moves. And wherever we lived, it was always family first, really the second big pillar of hers. And she always made sure that we got together with so many people that are here today. I think we did 5 or 6 family trips per year. And it was we went to Colorado camping, we went to Aunt Jody's house for Thanksgiving, to watch the Cowboys lose usually. We went all over the place, and really, it wasn't even a question. We would just end up going on family trips. And I think that's really been a real core to who she's been all the time. Always nurturing through all this. She was the first one up with several of you. Probably the last to go to bed after talking so much. Same with her 6 grandkids. Always the first to jump down on the rug and start playing with Legos or whatever it might be. And somehow the energy just kept going. And all during that time, there was a lot of nurturing always happening too. And we were talking about her, Andre and Flavia and I too, and she was always really into gardening and flowers as well. I think it's that same core nurturing aspect of her life that it really showed through so many different places. So in addition to education and family nurturing, church obviously was central to her whole life, and that's to all of ours as well. And as you've heard, she led adult education at St. Elizabeth Seton for 14 years, adult formation and family ministry here for 20 years. And again, I think the same nurturing qualities that come through. This wasn't always easy for Ted and myself, though. She liked to use a lot of the things she was training on us to see if she could help us out. I've taken more Myers-Briggs tests than probably anyone in this room. INFJ, if you're wondering. The second implication, though, is that it's really hard to get away with anything, especially for my brother. So we were surrounded by nuns and priests all the time. Having dinner seemed very normal that they would be over. And so normal that we felt super comfortable having our arguments in front of the clergy that was there. And I think on more than one occasion we could recognize, particularly Ted, in some of the sermons coming this Sunday afternoon. So anyway, education, family, church, all of this was just a nurturing and loving spirit that I think we all really have appreciated. And on that note, I want to hand it over to Ted to talk a little bit more about how love was part of her life.
She would not have laughed at the moon joke. Well, as we look back on my mom's life, we can't help but think of a quote that teaches us preach the gospel at all times, use words if necessary. Her actions during her life truly spoke volumes and were very, very grounded in her faith. If you want to understand what my mom's all about, you really don't need to look any further than Matthew, where Jesus asked what the greatest commandment was. It was love God, and the second one was love your neighbor. And my mom loved God, she loved this church, she loved her family, she just loved people. And my dad tells a story, I think, that captures her love for her church and her mission very, very well. It was, it actually started in the form of one of the biggest arguments they've ever had. You should know, my mom had endless energy for things that she was passionate about. And my dad was frustrated with the number of hours she was working at the church when on the third late night, she called and asked if he could bring her dinner up to the church. And he asked why she couldn't get home on time, and she said there were people at her door and people on the phone, and she couldn't get finished preparing for a program she was preparing for if she came home. My dad told her to lock the door, turn off the phone, and make sure you can complete your ministry without getting interrupted. My mom replied in one of those unforgettable ways, "You don't get it, Rick. These interruptions are my ministry." And I'm pretty sure Mom won that one, Dad. We've had a great chance the last few weeks to look at old letters and old pictures of my mom. And I wanted to share a note that we found in the archives that my Aunt Beth, my mom's sister, wrote. She writes, "One of the most difficult times for all of us was when Maggie left for college. There's one specific scene in my memory museum that's still very distinct, bright acrylics, not soft watercolors. The fact that Maggie was going off to college was a general awareness that we all understood. August day, she stood by the back door saying her goodbyes was like a brick thrown through my window of consciousness. Our big sister's moving out and things won't be the same. Something valuable is disappearing, some important thread, a tapestry that is us, is getting pulled away. We would never forget that distinctive, melodious laughter that came rippling out, and that's been a signature part of her personality since she was a little girl. When I think of my beloved big sister, I automatically hear the song-like laughter in my ears, and I constantly try to live a life that's full of love, engagement, and laughter as my sister Maggie. She's truly my inner song, Beth." And while my mom went off to college 50 years ago, can't we venue to say we feel very much that same way today? Grateful for that smile, the laughter, the caring, and the love. My mom also loved her husband Rick, and they're married for nearly 52 years. I have to acknowledge my dad, whose relationship with my mom was such an example for us, and without question, the love he showed for her as caregiver for the last 9 years has imprinted on all of us forever. We had so many others that have been a part of my mom's life and caring for her over the last few years, and I did absolutely want to thank the people from Encore, Conservatory, cottages, and a number of women who are in this room from Prince of Peace that came over to my dad's place weekly to spend some time with my mom. A lot of our hearts from all of our family. Thank you. The good news beyond the tremendous legacy that my mom left behind is that it's always crawfish season in heaven. Right now, my mom is likely tapping her foot and telling Steve and I to wrap this thing up so she can get to her lunch of a big spicy bowl of crawfish etouffee. My guess is she also has dinner planned with a big piping hot bowl of gumbo made with the perfect dark root. Cajuns know what I'm talking about. Between meals, knowing my mom, she has planned for some barefoot dancing to Cajun Zydeco with her Aunt Jo as well. So I'll leave you with a quote from her favorite doctor that she quoted often, with a much smaller version of these cousins and grandkids that you see here up front. Of course, that doctor was Dr. Seuss, and he leaves us with, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Amen?
Amen. Ted and Steve, thank you very much. To all of you here again, thank you for the gift of your presence here, and not just for today, but your presence in the life of Maggie and Rick for the years that have preceded this. To the family, again, thank you for sharing Maggie with us, and we are so grateful that you did. Thank you for that. In just a few moments, we'll have the final prayer and commendation. And then just the family and I will be going out to the columbarium. We invite all the other guests, if you would, to proceed. We have a big reception planned for you down in Arcana Center. I think you'll see enough traffic heading that way to know which direction it is if you're not familiar with us here. I'm not sure how much Cajun food is later, but I'm sure you eat other food as well. But there is enough food, thanks to our bereavement committees and so many gracious people helping out with that. And the family will be down there just as soon as we finish at the columbarium. Let us rise in prayer. O Lord, renewed by this life-giving sacrament, we pray that the soul of your daughter Maggie, to whom you gave a part in your covenant, may be purified by the power of the sacred mystery and rejoice without end in the peace of the risen Christ, who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen. My dear friends, before we go our separate ways, let us take leave of our sister Maggie. May our farewell express our affection for her. May it ease our sadness, strengthen our hope. One day we shall joyfully greet her again when the love of Christ, which conquers all things, destroys even death itself. May the angels lead you into paradise. May the martyrs come to welcome you and take you to the holy city, a new and eternal Jerusalem. May the choir of angels welcome you, where Lazarus is born no longer. May you have eternal rest. May you have eternal rest. O Father of mercies, into your hands we commend your daughter Maggie in the sure and certain hope that together with all who have died in Christ, she will rise with him on the last day. We give you thanks for the blessings which you bestowed upon her in this life. They are signs to us of your goodness and our fellowship with all the saints in Christ. Merciful Lord, turn towards us, listen to our every prayer, open the gates of paradise to your daughter, and help us to remain to comfort one another with assurances of faith, until we all meet in Christ and are with you and our sister forever. For we pray this through Christ, our risen Lord. Now in peace, let us take our sister to her place of rest.